Hello, welcome everyone to the next session, Seeing the Invisible Gemba Practices in Financial Services. My name is Tomasz Koch, and I am the head of the Polish Lean Institute, and I'm hosting this session by Dagmara Jasińska. She is a lean enthusiast. She began her professional career in the automotive industry, working for companies including Toyota Motor Manufacturing Poland for several years. She later worked in various other industries in operational roles and positions directly related to implementing lean principles across different countries and on a global scale. I have personally known Dagmara for over a decade, and she even worked briefly at our Polish Lean Institute. For the past several years, Dagmara has been focused on adapting and applying management methods originating from production environments to service and office settings while working for BPH Bank, which is part of the General Electric. Dagmara, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. As mentioned, I will do my best to share the Seeing the Invisible, so Gemba practice in financial services. As the conference is global, so let me share a bit of my global experience. As mentioned before, my lean career has started in American Eaton company, and it was more than 25 years ago. And then I was lucky to join Toyota. And for nearly a year, I was trained directly in Japan. So I had a chance to live and breathe not only lean thinking, but also the Japanese culture. So my life looked like that. 25 years ago, there were no, let's say, tools as we have today to connect us with the world. So my life looked like that, and traveling and doing anything was really challenging. And the place I was living in was organized nearly a Toyota plant. So the only way to survive and learn as much as possible was to put the kimono on. And actually, I put the kimono not only physically but also mentally, and started to think and act, live and breathe as Japanese people. And then I had a chance to apply the lean principles in different industries, in different roles. And you know what? It worked. We tested the appliance of lean thinking, lean concept during the Football Euro Championship in 2012, organized in Poland, and it worked. And we received the zero level complaints from our customers. And then I also tested the same thinking and same tools into other countries in Europe, and again, it worked. Then I had a chance to change the branch again and work for the construction industry, working mainly with sales and marketing departments. And the lean thinking, lean tools, and lean concept also was successfully implemented in those functions. And then a big change. I moved from the production environment more into office environment, and again working with teams, with people, thinking in a Japanese way. We managed to make the major transformation of the organization from countries to processes. And it was also successful. And nowadays, I'm happy to be a part, again, of American company, General Electric, and working in Polish subsidiaries of this company. Meanwhile, I also invested into my personal development and managed to achieve MBA and PhD titles, both of them, of course, in the lean environment or lean topics, as I'm absolutely lean chipped. And currently, I'm developing myself into a coach and mentor. So the organization I work for, as mentioned, it's General Electric, which recently was divided into three independent companies. And our bank, because I work for the bank in Poland, is a part of GE Aerospace. And we are a very highly regulated industry, and not big company, really comparing to other global units. We are less than 300 people with the average age of 40 and the average length of service of 12 years. So how we do lean in our BPH, it's the name of our bank. We purposely, we have, let's say, the title, the agenda named is Lean BPH, not Lean in BPH or Lean for BPH, because we want to be lean bank. We want to live and breathe lean principles and concepts. One of them, which we follow, is safety, quality, delivery, cost, because in our bank, the key asset is people. So we tend to say that people, quality, delivery, cost. And whatever we do, we always think in this order. And in our daily tasks, and daily challenges, we follow another basic Toyota concept or lean concept, which is plan, do, check, act. So whatever we do, doesn't matter of the topic, we always think about plan, what we want to achieve, what would be the success criteria. We do the things, we realize the plan, and then we check. We check if we succeeded, if we achieved what we really wanted. If we didn't, we come back to the planning phase, because potentially we all missed something or somebody, and we have to engage maybe additional team to solve a cross-functional problem. And then the last step, if we succeed, is the act phase, which is mainly about standardization. And this standardization is our way of not getting backwards. So this is how we want to go up the hill and make our life and our work daily better and better. The other concept we follow, which is also taken directly from Toyota, in Toyota it is said that we produce people that produce cars. And this is all about creating the proper culture in the organization. And in our bank, we quite often say that good people, nice people, exceptional people, they make exceptional bank. We believe in it strongly, following Toyota way, which is about based on continuous improvement and respect for people. And respect and teamwork, respect for people is also the base for our values. We believe strongly in those aspects. And in continuous improvement, we have challenges, we have Kaizen and Genchi Genbutsu. And what I want to share is mainly about Genchi Genbutsu. Genchi Genbutsu is go and see the process. In production environment, it's easier. I'm not trying to say it's easy. I'm trying to say that this is easier than in the processes which are hidden in the systems and our computers. So what we do, first of all, following people, quality, delivery, cost, we respect the fact that our organization works in the hybrid model. So we, a few days we can, partially we work from the office and partially we work from homes. That's why our improvement sessions, so work, we call them waste walks. Our improvement sessions, they are also organized in the hybrid model. Of course, we always engage people and ask them to come to the office, and it works. Usually significant majority of the team, quite often all the team working on particular improvement is based in the office. As you can see, we open our laptops, we open our systems, and we go inside of the system. So we do not just say, oh, I use system A, press button B, and I receive C. This is not enough, because there is a lot of potential for improvement hidden inside of the processes, and in the way we work, and we click. So we ask our colleagues to open the laptops, open the systems, and show us exactly and go step by step on real cases on how it's done. And this is how we learn what we can improve. And this is also a great story or great challenge of unlearning. So if we do any changes, it's also important to forget the old ways of working. So summarizing, we listen to the recording as well. It's not only watching the systems. We walk through the systems, and we also review the current documentation. So we open our standard operation procedures. We open relevant documents, attachments, whatever we work with. We take a look and assess, is there any potential for improvement? One of the examples during such a workshops, what we manage, sometimes they're quite challenging and on a first glance, even I would say controversial changes sometimes we propose. And one of such a change was when we draw the map, the process, when we analyze where is the step of the process where the time is lost. From the future state thinking, we considered that the process, a part of the process, this particular step, should be done in a different department. So we wanted to transfer a part of the tasks, a part of the job to another department. As you can imagine, it was natural resistance. No, I don't need additional tasks. It's not my job. I have enough. So after some negotiations, we agreed to have a trial. Because if for so many years we worked in a current way, so why not to give ourselves a few weeks of a trial and test in real life the new solution, and then let ourselves to assess, is this solution better or not? As long as we do not try, we don't know. And after negotiations, the trial was agreed. We changed the way we follow the steps of the particular process. And you know what? After several days, the colleagues on their own who took the additional task, they said, we don't want to change. We want the new way. It's more efficient. It's easier. So sometimes it's worth pushing a little bit for the new solution and test it and verify if it works or not. And the next step of our Genchi Genbutsu, so going into the processes and searching for potential improvements, was we started to invite our suppliers. We work in such a system that partially our processes, not all of them, but key processes, because of the volume, they are also delivered partially by our suppliers. So usually it's we kick off the process, and by the systems, the tasks go to our suppliers. And then when they complete the process, it comes back via the system to our bank to be finalized. And we thought that, you know, if we work with the suppliers, they are nearly a part of our team. So let's invite them also. And this is what we did. And on this picture, you can see faces in the blue frame. These are our suppliers. And here we also had another workshop where we draw a process map for a newly created process. And again, the person with the marked in a blue frame smiling face, again, it's our supplier. So as you can see, they are active, they work with us. And I must admit that sometimes they really surprise us with the ideas of improvement they come, because they can see our reality and our processes from a completely different perspective. And we listen to them, we work with them, and we do more and more. It's actually, I may say that it became a standard that we invite our suppliers to improve our processes. We work together. During one of such sessions, let me share a real life example. We were doing the gemba walk through the system. So we have a colleague from our bank connected to the big screen, opening the system, taking real case, kicking off the process. And in this step, our colleague, she had to put quite a few pieces of data taken from different systems, from different sources, into an Excel spreadsheet. And then our supplier was supposed to work on this data in the next steps. So when our colleague was connected, she showed she showed all the steps, the magic she's using to collect all the data, and she transferred the Excel spreadsheet to PDF. She attached that, pressed the button, and then the tasks via the system went to our supplier. Then our supplier connected to the big screen. And the first step she does, she opens the system, she opens the tasks just received from us. And the first thing she does, you may already guess, is she's depedifying the spreadsheet back to Excel. When we ask why, because this is the data she received, it's not exactly in the layout she requires to proceed with her steps. So immediately we had a quick answer and a quick decision on what and how we want to do. So immediately within an hour, we adopted the process on our end, and we saved the effort on our end because we were able to collect less data, not PDF it, and our supplier had ready to go material to continue working on the process. You may say, okay, just one example, one Excel, one PDF. What's the problem? The problem is that we do hundreds of those. Processes and steps. So if you multiply it, we save hours by such a small one improvement. And a short summary of one of the Kaizen events, which means that this is a week when we work on improving a particular process. So only in one Kaizen event we managed to save close to 15,000 emails sent between different people in a process. We managed to shorten the process by 25%, and we also gain a long-term benefit, which was a nice bonus to our activities, because our suppliers now they knock at our door and say, guys, let's improve it, let's make it better. And this is, and actually, literally next week, we do the next stage of this Kaizen, next stage of this process improvement. And our objective is, again, to shorten that by 25%. So wish us luck. The key lessons we learned, there is a lot of them. The few I wanted to actually highlight: don't be afraid of visualization. Don't be afraid of simple tools, sometimes even taken from the 19th, 20th century. I know it's the 21st century. I know that we may have global conferences. There is a lot of IT tools, not mentioning AI, we can use as well. Although the simple tools of bringing people together, letting them draw in one room on one piece of paper, the magic starts there. So I would highly recommend not to be afraid of those simple tools. Cross-functionality. Invite people from all the departments which are involved, or all the teams which are involved. What we do now, we also may make a step further. We call them fresh eyes. So we invite our colleagues who are not a part of the particular process we want to improve, because we want them to have a fresh view on the process. And the fresh eyes, they ask completely different questions because they don't know the process. They don't know why things happen. So quite often is that they start questioning things, and this is the beginning of great discussion, conversation, and ideas for improvement. And as mentioned already a few times, it's nice to be in one room. I understand that sometimes in global organizations, it's quite difficult. They have also experience from global companies. So even if you work from 2, 3, or 4 more locations around the globe, at least let's bring people into one room in a particular location and then connect via the screens. It's magic. It's magic when people are in one room because the interaction is different. So I would always recommend, and this is what I like sharing with other colleagues as well, start with why, not the what. So why we are doing this, what's the purpose, what's the reason that we do something. And as mentioned, let's use simple tools. This is an example from one of our workshops. We call them sometimes the web diagram. And this is let's say, a similar tool as in production. You can use spaghetti diagram. It shows all the teams around the circle. You have all the teams or people involved in a particular process. And then you mark all the movements which are done within the process. And such a web diagram shows you that we have a lot of backwards movements, checking, and that we have one team or one person who is really in the center of the changes. And maybe there is an option or chance to improve the work from the perspective of this person. It shows you quite a few potential, areas to take a closer look and consider improvements and changes. We also use fish bonds, same as in production environment. We talk about waste. Even if you cannot see the waste is still there, because maybe we click too much, maybe we send too many emails, and maybe we wait for information, or, which happens quite often, maybe we wait for the systems, to digest the data and give us the reporting. So waste is exactly the same categories of wastes can be, let's say, verified or searched for also in the office environment or service environment. We also use 21st century tools. Don't get me wrong; it's not only about using brown paper and colorful post-its. We also use nowadays tools to draw our process maps, although we use them more for the archive, for the standardization, and also for training people. So when we have new employees or we have people who are new to the process, so this is the first step. We share with them the map of the process, the standard of the process, and this is how they can get familiarize themselves with how the process is done. And these are the real cases of our maps. As you can see, they are long, quite complex and complicated. And this is just showing that bank processes are not really simple. They are not really easy. They are also challenging. And we also have quite a few, ambitious challenges we have to make, especially that our legal and economical environment is changing. So we also have to adapt to our external factors and our regulators. So in every company, we have challenging tasks to be completed. And the process, we draw the map. Maybe it's not exactly the same way of drawing the map as you do value stream mapping in production, because the material is different. So we use the swim lanes, we call them. So on the left-hand side, you can see all the departments involved, and then you have step-by-step the processes. And also at the bottom, we add the timeline data to track the time of the processes. So, the path to excellence is it's quite challenging, I guess, not only for the production, but also for the business, for the office environment. And from my perspective, and 20 plus years of experience working in different industries, it's always up the hill. It's quite often wavy, quite often bumpy. It's not easy, although it's a greatly rewarding journey to improve the way we work, to make people's lives easier, processes smoother, with less mistakes and problems. So summarizing, I would always encourage, doesn't matter what branch you work for, what industry you are in, open your eyes and ears, listen to your colleagues. There is always someone who has ideas we would never find them on our own. Analyze, test it. Don't be afraid of testing. If you have a process or a step of a process which is not working, is troublemaking, try to test different solutions. Sometimes you will not be successful first time, or maybe even second, or maybe even first time. But finally, you will find a better and easier way of working. And it's great to work in the team. And what I learned throughout my career in lean environment and operations as well, it's much nicer to win in a team than winning as a single person. So wishing you wonderful, great, continuous improvement journey towards the excellence you want to achieve.
Thank you. I hope you're hearing me. Thank you very much, Dagmara, for this presentation. There is now a time for questions. So I see no questions at the moment, so maybe I just ask you one question, and this is how much does your experience with manufacturing companies help you? How vital was it, or was it not so important? Tell us.
No, it was absolutely vital, definitely, because I had a chance to try different things. I learned to work in a team. I learned that if you press the button in one part of the factory or one part of the production company, usually it has the effect in many other departments. And the same is here, and the same is in the office environment, the service environment. The biggest, I would say, difference from my perspective is that in production things are more visible. It's easier to spot. You can see it faster, quicker. It's more visible. And in servicing industry or service environment, you have to dig a little bit more to really understand the effects of your work.
So I still do not see any questions from the audience. So please, if you, oh yeah, Dagmara, do you see this question from Julia Walter? Can you just press the question and answer in the bottom? Thanks a lot for your presentation. Which arguments did you see to convince people that lean could also work in service environment?
Oh yeah, it's a great question. I would say the way is, I mean, work with people. So what I did joining the, let's say, the service environment, first of all, I did short training to people, not on tools, but more on the concept and the culture. I show them where is lean from, why Toyota started to use this way of thinking and this way of acting. And I show them the examples. I use also, we do simple, I would say, exercises. So, for example, we draw a fishbone for, I got late for an aeroplane. What happened? So I'm showing to people that they can use it to their daily thing. Then, we do the 5 why we do on the, for example, holiday planning, going to the skiing. Yeah. So I use, short, simple trainings, not on tools very much related, but more on the way of thinking, because lean for me is way of thinking. And when I
Dagmara,
yeah,
there is another question because we have only 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Say it again. How do you engage the leaders in this practice?
Oh yeah, it's a great topic. It's one of the most difficult things because they are very experienced. They know everything, and of course they are so brilliant that all the processes are greatly managed by them. Quite often, I have separate trainings for the managers. I organize with them. I call them Lean Express. So I'm discussing with them separately without their people. I also do one-to-one with them. And I always, in every organization, there is always at least one manager who is open to test, open to try, open to change. And I start with those managers who are really willing to change the world. We create a showcase, and then we make, a presentation of it. We communicate what benefits we received and so on. And step by step, we engage more and more people. But you will always have managers who do not want to become lean. But, it takes time, patience.
I do not see more questions.
Yeah, but let
And
me
there
maybe,
is,
because I didn't manage to finalize the answer to the first question. Maybe you have questions you would prefer to ask offsite, I mean, not in the forum. So it's easy to find me on LinkedIn. This is the best way to find me. So if you would like to ask other questions, maybe in a more private zone, because sometimes I know it may be more encouraging. So please feel free to find me on LinkedIn. Wishing you wonderful, lean journeys.
thank you very much, Dagmara. Thank you for being with us, and thank you the people that joined your session.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.